Hello, everybody. This is a reminder that Block Party
Weird voice there.
What?
The hello is a little the tone in the hello.
Promos?
You just kind of it sounded like you put a voice on.
I think it's better to be natural.
Yeah. Let's just hear what John
Just hear
has to
you.
say.
Like, it's almost better to be more natural.
Don't be afraid.
Like behind the scenes.
Yeah. Go ahead.
All right. So Block Party is going live.
There we go.
Time,
Yeah.
For the second time ever in Vancouver, BC at the Biltmore Cabaret. Oh, I almost flubbed, but I didn't. But you might
saved it.
You might see some flubs live on October 11th and 12th at the Biltmore Cabaret, because Block Party is not only going live, but we are also going live with our friends from Guys. Bryan Quinby and Chris James will be there live, performing Guys live for the first ever time. Chris will be performing Not Even a Show. Stefan and I will be doing Word Up, and then we will be doing a live
cameo
edition.
bonus episode, to be clear.
Yeah, I think they know.
Well, just in case they don't know. And it might be the last one ever, because Cameo is going under. So,
well, we'll see. We don't actually know that for sure. And if it does go under, well. I hear Memo is still doing great.
That's true. Yeah, maybe we can buy Cameo also.
Yeah. Oh, we should buy Cameo.
Let's put a pitch together. Yeah.
Anyway, 4 shows, 2 nights, 1 low price. Head on over to bit.ly/top3, the digit 3, not typing out 3 weekend. For tickets, it's a weekend pass, 1 low price. We'd love to see you there in Vancouver. Again, that's bit.ly/top3 weekend. If you have any questions or concerns about this week's episode, please call or text producer Dan at 778-288-9255.
Start the party, Dan! Time to turn it up, we're getting crazy, going wild, talking dance and stuff. Dudes scrolling outside, buttoned up, fire, boom, roast, bad post, sticking up the replies. We don't want to go to school, we don't want to get a job, we just want to get online and get our hands in the box. We don't follow the rules, we do whatever we want. It's Block Party, the podcast that moves within a duck. Block Party, Block Party, Block Party, my missions are fun. Block Party, Block Party, Block Party, I quote within a duck.
Hello, friends, idiots, and friends who are also idiots. Welcome to your favorite podcast about social media and rejection. It is Blocked Party. This is episode number 299. I'm John.
I'm Stefan.
And with us is a fantastic guest, a returning guest to the program, one of our great friends here on Blocked Party. He is one half of the Guys podcast and the mastermind behind Not Even a Show. Chris James is here. Hi, Chris.
Hello, Chris.
Hi, I'm gonna have a better attitude on this week's. I have noticed a lot of people comment I have a bad attitude when I come on the show.
Yeah.
And other people are saying, well, is that because you finally got your wish to be on a main episode? But no, I'm just gonna try to be the bigger man and be totally just be totally cool and endearing to all of the fans.
This is nice. I like this a lot.
I already like the tone shift. It feels
it's really good.
Feels very comfortable.
Nice. I do have to say I did not read the email.
You don't have to. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
I was not expecting
matter.
it. You know, sometimes you have guests on the show, you send them the email, you're like, I know they ain't reading this.
Well, I feel like you do a trick, and is this accurate to say, because you put the link in there and you put it near the top of the email, and then so today I said, can you send me the link? And you said, well, it's in the email. I said, yeah, and I had to be like, oh really? It's in there? Oh, in that thing I definitely read. Oh,
that's smart.
Where it must be at the bottom. And you're like, it's right near the top.
It's like the first thing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's sort of the first, it's kind of like the first thing that's in the email, really.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, hey, here's the link. We'll see you on Wednesday.
Yeah. Chris, can I ask you, I noticed you have a basketball hoop behind you. Do you have a little basketball that you could toss at it right now?
I do.
Can I see you? I'd love to see you make a shot right now.
I've got a yellow basketball.
This shot will determine how good this episode is. If you make this shot, this is going to be just an all-time great episode. I know. I think this is actually harder than it looks.
I try it sometimes, and I would say I'm above 50%.
Okay, so if you make the shot, great episode. If you miss, bad episode.
Airball.
Oh my God.
That was a big miss.
That was so bad.
I honestly have never taken a shot that bad. I don't know how to explain
that was horrible.
That. I don't know what could the explanation.
I think you almost missed the door.
I don't know what that could be.
No.
Foreshadowing.
Oh, no.
Oh, boy.
John brought this up earlier, and I didn't really even think about this, but I think at the live show, when Bryan flubs, like live at the live show, the pop he's going to get for that is crazy.
It's going to be insane. I've been thinking about it, and I was also thinking about, because we've been doing a couple of episodes lately where he hasn't flubbed. He flubbed. We recorded just before this. We did a bonus episode where he flubbed, made an absolute fucking ass of himself. But he's been doing full episodes where he hasn't done any. And I thought, what if he? But so what? There's a couple things I can do. Well, no, I can. You know what I mean? I don't want to.
Sure.
But I can sort of maybe force him to say certain words or whatever, or try to trip him up or get him confused.
Because he is very comfortable on stage.
Is this sort of like is this like, would you say kind of like a Swedish buffet? How would you, what is that called? Can you remind me of what
I don't know what it's called.
Smorgasbord?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, but see.
I feel like the best flubs are the ones where he flubs a very easy word.
Yeah, like when he said when he called me, of course, recently called me Gris instead of Chris.
Yeah, that's
we know
honestly
each other
unforgivable.
Pretty well. We know each other really well, and we had a Vancouver comedian Amr saying on, and we comment in the episode. It's because he gets really. It's spelled just AMAR, so it's Amar is how Anglo people would normally want to pronounce it, and so he was really in his own head trying to
make sure he got the guess
trying to say Amr and
he forgot how to say any other.
Forgot how to say Chris, like a very. Again,
so kind of
easy.
like racist, actually, that he said Gris instead of Chris.
Well, we don't need to get into that because I combined two words on a recent episode and accidentally said a racist slur. So it was really brutal. And
Brian didn't cut that out. Well, I guess that would mean Brian would have to do some editing.
Well, I edited it, and I was away on the island with my wonderful child who made it such a brilliant trip. It was so much fun and so relaxing with my baby who's 4 months, but I was actually not there to edit the episode. I would have definitely probably caught it.
But do you think there's a chance that maybe the audio levels were so fucked up when you said it that it wasn't?
No, we went on a call and we discussed the leveling of the audio and we got the audio leveled. He was saying, we'll do this and this. I said, you don't even have the master tracks. You can't do any of what you're saying.
Yeah. Because what I like sometimes is it sort of keeps you on your toes. The episode of Guys where one part of it will be just like, that's unbelievably loud.
That's
like
why
to the point where
kind
it's like dangerous, I think. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
That's why I've taken over the audio leveling because I guess people.
Well, you haven't really taken over something that wasn't being done, I guess, right?
It was becoming a medical issue for people because we were getting all kinds of complaints from people, from their doctors and everything. And I mean, do you want to know the wildest thing is like after I started editing it and like actually mixing it, I use now the Dan would know all about this. I use the local recordings now and I actually mix it myself. Yeah. So I've been doing that to make sure that the audio levels are good. And I did that, sent it to Brian, and he added a little message before.
And just him like screaming.
Was at like 10% of the volume of the rest of it. So then when the music kicked in, it just destroyed people. And I was like, all right, so I'm gonna
because they would have had to turn up the volume for Brian's message, like super loud.
And the theme song is pretty aggressive. It's like an aggressive
metal song,
chunky guitar riff. Yeah.
So I said, Brian, I said, and Brian listens to this probably, so he's
sure,
Brian,
he does, yeah.
I said it's probably just
easier.
Brian. It's probably just easier if you just send me, like if you have a message, just send me the music,
whatever you're doing, whatever you're gonna put in the show, it all needs to come to me first.
I told him it's easier. That's not really the reason,
right? Sure. But do you think Brian's kind of like I have to put a little bit of that Brian touch into every episode?
It's really interesting because some people on the Discord are like, no, I'm not really sure about this like audio that sounds like, crisp and good, like they're in the same room together. I want that old kind of, we do have some anti-audio.
Sure. It's like how people have started listening to like cassette tapes again. You know what I mean?
They want degraded quality and it makes them feel like as kind of grungier or whatever.
Sure.
Possibly.
Yeah.
That is kind of what Brian likes. We have a new metal podcast together, and Brian does like production that actively sounds bad on albums. So maybe he's just like extending that philosophy into podcasting as well, where he's like, what if this sounded bad? It's daring. What if we did a podcast, but it sounded bad? It
has worked very well for him. I mean, it's, you know what I mean? It's
very successful.
He built his audience before the audio was ever fixed in any way. So clearly there's a lot of people who didn't care at all and liked it maybe the other way. And maybe we should actually let it be bad again.
Yeah, and let me be clear here too. Like I stream on the Golf Kings, and we are like the kings of audio issues on there. So this is coming from a place of love. But I do respect anytime something. I think what it is that the content of your guys' show is so good that no matter the audio issues, people are still going to listen. You know,
people will go. Yeah, there's certain people who can't handle it. You know, but
for like sensory reasons.
Yeah, Dan, of course, because Dan's a sound guy, so I can understand that. That's
I had
why
to
it
stop
was
listening for a while.
Yeah, see, I can't. I have a thing like that too, where I have people like it doesn't really matter, and I was like, it does to me. It matters to me.
Sure.
I can't, like, when I tune into it and I hear that, like, I'm like, nah, that matters to me. I don't want to be.
I would argue it matters to lots of people. I would argue that a lot of people do like when a podcast sounds good.
That makes me
it is
feel
nice
a lot
when
better.
something you're listening to sounds good. I think, That's
For a while,
reason.
I was actually downloading the episodes and then making further edits to them myself before I would listen to them. So
yeah, that's not what you want to hear. You don't want to hear that people are being forced to edit your podcast in order to.
But that's kind of part of the fun, almost, right? It's like a little game. Like, hey, like, what are the? You know what I mean? It's almost like a spot the difference thing, right? Where like, it's like, what's wrong? It's like, what's wrong with this picture, sort of, right? And it sort of allows the audience to feel like they are part of the show. Where it's like, what did Bryan do with the audio normalization on this episode? Well, let's see if you can figure it out yourself. You know?
Yeah, and also it does make them part of it because they are editing it, so
they're actively working on your show.
They're actually doing a thing that would normally be a paid position.
Yeah.
It's
sort of
be a
invoicing
contest.
you,
It should have been a contest of like who can actually make this sound good.
Yeah,
and
that's such a funny thing to do on your podcast. Run a contest like who can make this audio sound the best, and you just use it every
It's
week.
kind of like the guys who will edit together like the Star Wars like prequel trilogy to make it like actually like watchable, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like the guys who are just like huge fans and love the content itself, right? And they're like, I want to be able to listen to this, you know? But anyway, we all love Bryan here. We do. I'm so excited for him to come to Vancouver. What do you guys think he's going to do in Vancouver first?
drugs.
Yeah.
No, I mean he's got to get a hold of. He's got to get a hold of them first. And
he's got to figure out how to get Xanax or whatever.
I'm already on it for him. So.
Yeah, I think Dan. Basically.
I mean, he can get. I could get him Xanax, obviously.
I forget if it was us. Maybe it was you, Chris, joking about like the first thing he does here is drive across the border to the U.S. to get Xanax.
Well, he did that famously.
No, I know.
That's the famous story.
I was on the episode.
That's right. John was on that episode where he told the famous story, the Mexico story, which is one of the best stories because he also told me that it happened like when it happened. He didn't tell me what the story was, but he's like, I have the most insane thing that happened to me in Mexico, and then I had to wait so long
to hear it on the.
And it was like there was so much buildup in my mind that it was only going to let me
let down, and it wasn't. It wasn't.
It was like so much better than I expected.
It was you. I love Bryan's stories because there's just always extra.
Yeah.
Like there's even if you imagine what the story is, there's always some extra part of it. Like I think
there's a spin on it that only Bryan could.
Yeah, like one of my favorite parts of the Mexico story is that he drove to Tijuana, found the pharmacy where he wanted to buy Xanax, but couldn't read the Mexican parking signs. So he just drove around the block for 1 hour and then was surprised when the cops stopped him and were like, why do you keep driving around the block?
I always I'll tell stories sometimes. Like on this week's bonus episode, I told a story about my trip over to the island, my disastrous trip. And I realized like people hate my stories on there and they like them fine other places, you know. Yeah. But then when you put them up against Bryan's stories,
it's hard to compare.
They don't.
And you're a great storyteller. You know, you're a very funny guy.
I'm like a normal storyteller. Like I'm decent enough, you know. Like people aren't. I don't usually, but they just seem so boring compared to what Bryan.
I think you have a very good way of telling stories. I think you're very funny. But I do agree that like when you're telling a story after a Bryan story, it's like
everyone's waiting for some fucking insane shit, and if it doesn't come, then
Well, And the thing with Bryan for me, and I've said this with doing the POD cast,
if he does listen, he's gonna love this.
he's loving
This is
it.
great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's loving this.
Yeah.
He's just like, oh my god. He's like, Katie, come here. Like they're still talking about.
I think the part that always blows me away on the POD cast is that he also doesn't seem to have a concept of like what an interesting story is.
Yeah.
Like you will just start talking and then you're like, what? Like we were like 50 episodes into the POD cast when he just dropped like, yeah, I did acid for the first time when I was 12.
Yeah.
And then you're like, what? And then he was like, then he had this whole like 15-minute story about doing acid for the first time when he was 12. And I was like, how have I never heard this story before? How are we 5 years into doing a podcast together? And I am just learning this now.
That's why it's important. That that's the important thing is that he doesn't know. Otherwise, he would have told them all already. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because if Bryan was like a regular guy, all of these stories would be so insane to him, but they're normal to him, right?
Yeah.
And that's what makes the stories good.
That they're crazy so much. So then, yeah, he'll sit on some of them. Like, I mean, on the most recent episode, he told on the Cruise Guys episode with Tom Walker, he told a story about how he recommended this guy for a job at like this call center he was working at. He was the recommending party, and then the guy got fired for jacking off at his desk. Brian just has to keep working there.
Wait, you can get fired for that?
Yeah, can you
Not on this show, Dan. Don't worry. You're still free to jack
I think
off
I've
on
told
here.
the story here about where I recommended a friend of mine for when I was working at the warehouse. I recommended a friend of mine for a job at the warehouse, and he got the job. And he got fired after a month because it was like the night that like Brexit happened, and he stayed up super late watching all the news reports about Brexit, and then slept in and missed work the next day. And they were like, "Where were you?" And he was like, "Oh, I was watching the news." And they're like, "What? You can't? Why did you make that? Why was that your excuse?"
Why didn't
And
you
then he
just
got
say
fired,
something?
so.
Like, why didn't you just come up with an excuse? That is that's why you really, I mean, you're recommending someone for like a job, like where you work and you plan to stay there for a while. You gotta make sure that is someone that you would trust, you know?
For sure. I mean, the jacking off at work is
I mean,
also he was in the bathroom and he got
no, man, he was jacking off at his desk, dude, in front of his computer to pornography.
What? And he's in like a cubicle, or he's in one of those like those
Not
rows?
even a cubicle, but Brian figures that it was like late, you know, like it was like
people
late,
had
so it was not that many, but somebody caught him.
I mean, that's nuts.
That's totally wild. Like, it wasn't like Brian said it wasn't his friend, but it was like his wife's like brother-in-law. You know what? It was like somebody, but that's why you can't be doing that. You can't be like, hey, here's this random guy who like knows a person I know.
Yeah, it's gotta be someone you
recommend
actually
him for the job. You don't know what he's up to, you know?
Yeah. God, Brian is so fucking cool.
That's usually the first question I ask people if they ask me to get them a job. I'm like, do you think you'll jack off at the job?
Yeah. Do you have an understanding of appropriate places to masturbate?
Yeah. And that's like a yes or no question. Like there's like one correct answer.
Yeah, and if they delay at all, then you know, if they're like, well, what do you mean by
about
appropriate? Then you're like, okay, well.
And
I mean, what if
turning into like, okay, you're not the guy.
Oh man,
Chris,
I think
we have
Brian
talked about this before. I know that Chris, you haven't had a ton of like quote unquote day jobs, but Stefan and I have talked about.
I have had a lot. That's not true.
Oh, okay.
I've had a lot. I've worked at a hotel. I've worked at a Best Buy. I've worked at warehouses. I've worked.
Oh, I remember the Best Buy stuff because weren't you like you gave what was it? You got let
I
off.
got fired because someone came in, couldn't afford any of the phones, and I said, I got a phone. I'll give it to you. And I gave him my phone, and then he said extra one, and then he came back because there was like a problem with it. He came back to the store like looking for tech support. They're like, we don't sell that phone, and then they're like, hey, you're not allowed to do that. Torben, the German manager, Torben, fired my ass.
Oh.
Well, I was going to ask, have you ever jacked off at work, Chris?
Oh, no. I mean, of course not. I mean, I can't think of a scenario. I guess maybe like in a scenario where you're like working at a place where you're completely on your own. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've jacked off at my desk, but not during work. Like not.
Oh,
during.
yeah.
This one.
Oh, yeah. I've jacked off in this
one,
this
you
chair
know?
where I'm sitting in right now, but that's like, I work from home now.
It's not
but
really the same thing. Yeah.
I just think even the idea of going to the bathroom and jacking off and then you come out and all the coworkers are there and stuff. I don't know.
You just nutted.
I think that would make me feel too weird. I also don't think, just I know I pretend to be quite a horny guy, and I sort of have this, but I'm not that horny.
No, I think
never
if you're
been
jacking off at work, like you have to be
so
you have to be out of control.
in that moment, maybe. Yeah,
Sorry, Dan.
Dan is looking at us like he's
We are
done.
crazy. Yeah, we're crazy, and he's.
I've
the
done
crazy
all
ones.
of the things. I've never jacked off at my desk at work, but
Sure.
I've definitely jacked off at work at a real job before.
Like, what was the job?
I was working in an office.
Okay, and what prompted? I think we've talked about this on the show before, but what specifically prompted it? You were just bored.
You were horny?
Boredom, of course.
boredom. Yeah.
Okay.
So, and what kind of office? Like, it was just like,
It was like an online.
okay.
It was an e-tailer.
So you were like
Okay.
answering phones and
It
stuff.
was
You're kinda
shoes.com. I worked at shoes.com.
Okay.
okay, and all the feet and stuff
And all
made
the
you
feet
horny.
were getting you super horny.
Are you a foot guy?
No, I'm not a foot guy. I mean, I did
And
have
yet-
to edit
and
a
yet
lot
you
of.
were working at shoes.com, looking at a bunch of shoes.
Well, we sold
presumably.
like underwear and stuff too. You know.
Oh, so you were looking at just the underwear, like not even on the model, just a picture of the underwear.
just a picture of
For a while, my job was like censoring visible penises and like weird sexual underwear that we sold for a while, like fetish underwear.
Oh, the underwear where you can like full on just see the guy's cock.
Yeah.
Oh, like
Yeah.
you had to like
And
like
that got me
you had to
going.
Photoshop it.
Well, yeah, because they didn't want like visible penises on their website, so I had to
Why
like,
not?
put a little
Who
star
would?
over the penis or whatever. Yeah.
Oh, like that. Okay, I thought it was
Okay.
more of a like
a bulge.
like a technical
yeah,
job.
I thought it was more of like like a shadowy like we
No,
can
there's
kinda
like
see the
straight
head
up
of his dick,
see-through
so-
underwear.
Oh, okay,
You can
I
see.
Yeah.
Can you send me some? I want to look this up.
You
I
want to
bet-
see
I bet-
the
I bet it looks
see-through
really
underwear,
funny.
Stefan?
I
I
bet
mean,
it's
it's really
really
not that
funny.
hard to find that. I'm
It's
sure.
really not that
See-through.
hard to picture either.
Male
No,
yeah.
underwear. Yeah, but I bet it looks really funny.
Yeah, I don't feel like I need the Google image
Yeah, I don't
search for
need, like,
see-through
yeah.
underwear.
Pretty sure I can picture it in my head.
I am on Amazon here, and they have blocked out the. Yeah, so it's not. Yeah, you don't real. Okay, wait a second. You think maybe you can see this guy's penis? Men's gay underwear. Okay, let's see.
Yeah, that sounds right.
That's
This is-
fucked up. Is only gay guy allowed to wear?
That's what it says.
That's very weird.
That's
Have
what
you
it
guys
says.
ever worn
think
like
they could.
underwear for sex?
What do you mean? Like,
Like, have you ever bought like a pair specifically where you're like, yeah, I'm gonna put this on for
No.
my
No.
girlfriend or
I'm
whatever?
I'm
I
taking
don't-
the underwear off.
yeah.
Well, no, I know, but that's what do you think lingerie is, dude? Like,
Yeah, but that's different. I think. I don't think.
Yeah,
I don't think there's any underwear that's gonna make me look good. You know.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever like bought underwear to be sexy or
yeah,
or something.
I haven't either. I just
No.
was curious.
I feel like as a straight male, I just don't know that is actually possible to do.
I mean, you could ask your partner. I mean, maybe I'll ask Ariel after. Like, would that be cool if I got some sexy underwear?
getting like edible boxers and it has
Yeah, well,
like
that's not what-
the
that's-
ball pouch in it.
That's
and,
not what
like-
I was thinking of. I was just thinking more of like a thong or like a some
Yeah,
kind of like
because
leopard
edible panties
print or-
edible panties make sense because they're kind of like smaller, right? Because there's like less material. You know what I mean? Than
Mhm.
like edible boxers. Like I'm just picturing like
It's a lot.
full on boxer briefs, and it's like the big like fruit roll up material.
Yeah, it's all the
You're
way down
wearing
to your
your-
knees.
You're wearing the huge like basketball shorts.
Yeah, or it's like the candy necklaces. I feel like some of them are like candy necklaces.
Yes.
and you've got those
Just
strapped
like it's like
around your-
mesh, right? But it's like
Yeah.
the candy. Yeah, yeah.
just
Oh.
strapped around your legs.
Oh,
She
boy.
like throws up before she can even get to your dick.
Oh, I
eating
found
so
something.
much-
Oh, I found something really good on
Yeah.
Amazon.
Stefan, she
Yeah.
can't even give you oral sex because she ate
Yeah.
too much candy.
It's like,
before.
oh, I
Yeah.
don't feel good. I don't really feel good anymore. You're like, what the fuck? I got a big boner going on here.
Yeah, I found one of the brands we sold. I'll post a link in the chat for you guys.
Oh,
Check
okay. There you go.
check this shit out too. Hold on.
Why am I?
Can
looking
you
at-
bring this
Oh,
one
wow.
up? Can
Okay.
you
I
bring
can't
this one
put
up?
this on the video, obviously.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can. Bring this one up.
I see. Okay.
No, that can't go on the video.
Can you just please bring it up? It doesn't have to go on the video, but I want
oh my
Chris
god!
and John to see this.
What is?
The one I found is really good.
Okay.
What is
It
that
looks like something a
for?
vampire would wear.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
that's
not
good.
good.
I
That's-
like that.
That is so strange.
No, honestly, that's a product that I like.
That's so good.
I mean, it's obviously like an AI penis or a mannequin penis because
Yeah, it looks like an egg.
yeah,
It looks like there's like a
the
penis.
tip
Like,
is like an egg.
Well, I think his penis is inside a balloon or something, maybe.
you think that egg is part of it?
Perfect for special occasion like lingerie night, self pleasure, Valentine's Day, nightclub,
I'll tell
nightwear,
you this:
sleepwear, or club wear.
self pleasure for me is not a special.
I'm
occasion.
not putting sheer stockings on and rubbing my cock through the stockings, you know.
Yeah, and I'm not wearing those to the nightclub.
And I'm not nutting in the stockings and then like pushing my cum through the gaps of the stockings and like rubbing the cum up against my own penis and balls and getting it all messed up in my pubes from the stockings. I'm not doing that. Certainly.
What the fuck?
I said I'm not doing that.
I'm sorry, Chris.
Like I'm on one of the most nasty podcasts, but like I don't think we would say something like that.
Yeah. What? No, there's no reviews of this one. There's no customer reviews of this one. Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know that one is a very popular product.
Yeah,
Well,
I think people
it's-
are reaching for La Soya,
If you guys
men's
saw
sexy, ultra thin, shiny, glossy, seamless panties, see-through sheer boxer briefs, underwear with sheath.
You know who could have worn this? Jeffrey Epstein, because the dick does look like an egg.
Yep.
Right? Remember that? Remember
Oh, I
he
remember
famously
That's
had
really
an
a good
egg-shaped
way to
penis.
kind of make
But
it
it's
seem
there.
normal again.
Yeah,
Stefan,
yeah.
is
Oh, if
inject,
Jeffrey Epstein, famous
Epstein into
pedophile
the
Jeffrey
convo.
Epstein could
No,
wear this.
Stefan, it's different. His penis was egg shaped.
Not the head of
Like the head, not the head. The whole
it
thing.
was because it was like
egg-shaped.
thicker. Yeah,
Base
yeah.
was like.
Was he a
thick.
pedophile?
Oh my god, Dan.
Oh, geez.
You just said he was a pedophile. I don't think he was a pedophile though.
Okay.
Oh
Well,
my god.
Yeah, he
Wow.
was. That's
He's
the thing.
like the world's most famous pedophile.
That's the thing he's most famous for. I think.
Oh, and I'm confusing it with Harvey Weinstein. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
well, but
He has
again,
his penis looks. Yeah, his penis looks like Don Vito's skin tags. Apparently, that's what I've heard.
Dan saying, coming to the defense.
Thank
Wait,
you,
wait,
Dan.
hey, wait a minute.
Hold on a second.
Well,
Wait,
I don't want to get it. I don't want.
Fellas here,
a
I
second.
don't want any slander.
I'm just trying not to get sued here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
let me open all my my bookmarked tabs that talk about this in great detail. I've
Yeah,
got
yeah.
a
Come
lot
on,
of
John.
evidence
What
here.
are you? Okay.
This is he's also worried about getting sued by a man who famously took his own life.
Well, actually, let's get into this. Let's get into this in 2024. Let's get into this.
Oh my god, this is
I'm kind
really...
of am looking for like a comedian's take on Jeffrey Epstein's suicide. You know, I think that would be kind of cool. Like a free speech comedian, their opinion on it. I really do want to hear that a lot. You know?
Yeah, I'm thinking it might have sounded a little something like this. Hey, Jeff. No, I don't have it. I also don't want to do it.
No. That's fine. Did you guys see the
I should go grift or
You should.
comedian. I live in Calgary. I mean, it would
You might
be,
as well, honestly.
I would.
You could
my
just do
audience
it
would be
just in
huge.
Calgary as well.
Oh
right?
yeah.
Like,
Well, there are like guys
Yeah.
that are doing it in Calgary quite famously. Well, sort infamously, I guess.
yeah.
How about, you just have a different guy. Like you could be like Colin Jonathan or something.
Yes.
You know,
yes.
and then you're just like, that's your kind of guy. You're like free speech
Yeah.
guy. And you would
It could be Johnny C.
You could be, I mean, that's what you,
Johnny C. I love speech that's free.
My name is Johnny C. I love speech that's free.
Oh, it could be a rapper.
And the crowd goes like,
you better not
Yeah.
fuck with me.
Yep.
yes.
Yep.
I start my shows with that. The crowd goes fucking wild. I actually do it on the God mic backstage before I even get on stage.
Yeah.
And they're
then
like,
say
oh,
the God
shit.
mic. You say, I have so much respect and admiration for this mic. There's one thing that I will not do. I'm 100% free speech, but I will not say the Lord's name in vain because that's a big thing about the free speech guys.
Yeah, I'm a Catholic guy. Yeah.
Limits except for swears and stuff that's against anything to do with the Bible.
Yep. I'm a Catholic. That's
exactly.
right. Yep.
Yeah,
I'm
you guys.
I'm a recent adult Catholic convert.
You guys,
Cool, very cool, man.
you guys seeing this this whole situation with the Algerian boxer? I mean, cheese and rice.
Oh my god. I think you actually do need to work on your grifting.
Yeah, your grifting is not that good.
It's not at the level we need it to be. We're
No.
getting there though. We're getting there. Yeah.
Well, what I mean, I just
we don't have to. We can workshop this off stage. We'll workshop this at the live show, I think.
right.
Yeah. I think we can workshop this at the live show. But anyway, I
Yeah, I'll
legitimately
open for Block Party doing my Johnny C character.
the Johnny C character. God. I Bryan just wandering around Vancouver is just very funny to me. I'm just really Bryan going to like Science World, you know, taking him to Stanley Park. I think I could see Bryan at Stanley Park getting attacked by a coyote.
Yeah.
You know?
But that was happening in our town for a while. I don't know if you guys covered it on here. And
Yeah.
by the way, right now, Brian just like, oh fuck, they're back.
They're talking about me again. Okay, yeah.
This was over for sure. Where'd this come
I did
from?
think it was over, definitely.
Yeah.
And then
No, I mean
that's kind of like, I haven't missed too many episodes of Block Party, but that is generally Stefan's way of trying to move the show along is let's just keep talking about that other thing we were talking about.
Yeah. Because we were doing so good talking about
I don't want
it, you know?
I don't want a new idea.
I do have
Yeah.
a new thing, which is did you guys see that Comedy Bang Bang fan who like tried to get backstage to get them to sign their Crocs and
No.
just was like posting in their Discord and was being like a total psycho about it? It's like really insane. Dan, I'm gonna send it to you. This is not my social media update. I have something else for that.
Why
but-
does he? What's this? Is there a significance with Crocs with the comedy?
I don't
Bang Bang
know. I think
audience,
maybe they
or
just
he
thought it was funny. I wasn't
Okay.
sure about that, but they're on tour right now, and this guy posts in their Discord and says, "I met them backstage after the show tonight, and Paul was very mean to me." And everyone's like, "Okay,
Paul
it seems."
F. Tompkins?
Yeah, like the famously like the nicest guy in the world.
I don't like to say I don't want to, but I've met him before in Vancouver.
Yeah.
And I know everyone knows this and you would expect this, but genuinely the nicest
Yes.
and kindest and most like welcoming person that I've ever
Yeah.
met in comedy.
Yeah, he invited JF, I think, and DB backstage in Nashville, and they were there, and they
he's
were like
just so
just the nicest guy in the world.
genuinely nice. It
Yeah.
comes across as so nice and kind and genuine. Just like
Yeah.
nobody has a bad thing to say about him.
And it's
Yeah.
that's always the thing is like these types of guys don't realize like this is a red flag. Like if
Yes.
Paul was mean to you, everybody is like, oh, okay, well you're a psycho then.
You're
You've done
completely
something.
completely nuts. So Paul says to him, "You snuck backstage before the show like you did the last time we were in Madison. You were not invited. You were not at the meet and greet. We did not invite you. You got off lucky last time. Enjoy that victory and stop complaining that you didn't get lucky twice. Just a heads up to anyone else, don't do this." Do you think maybe that would be the end of it, right?
So because you've been called out there.
Ooh.
You've been
Like,
called out by Paul F. Tompkins. I
And
think
saying that like you did it last, like
You've done
he's
it
done this
before.
already.
it's
We-
please never do this again. This is crazy. And then
Oof.
in the Discord, you're like talking to him in the Discord. He says, "It just sucked. Never happened to me at any concert show I've been to in the past. It was a luxury to go to the show, and I wish I had the money to afford a meet and greet. I get that it could be disconcerting to see a random backstage. Guess I don't have the youthful charm that I used to."
Oh no. So
And-
he's like, he's like, I used to be such a little scamp.
Yes.
Like he's like this guy who's just realizing that he's old and off-putting now.
Yeah, and it just
And I'm
it-
gonna
again-
guess, Chris, maybe he was probably also young and off-putting.
But because he was young, people would sort of put up with it a little bit.
Yes.
Now he's a grown man. He's expected to sort of, conduct himself in a
Yeah.
more normal way.
Yeah,
Understand that we live in a society.
And
You know.
he understands the meet and greet. He
Sure.
even said, I don't have money for the meet and greet. So, I wish I did.
Oh,
I
yeah.
created my own meet and greet because if you don't have money,
Yeah.
that's the appropriate thing
But
to do.
He's apparently done this at all sorts of concerts and stuff. And then
But that's
PFT
like
says, "Then you've been lucky. That's not an example of our rudeness. It's an example of how fortunate you've been. Stop acting aggrieved. Just want to add, other people have let me do what I want. Never had someone set a boundary before is not the defense that you think it is." And you'd think at this point he would maybe stop and understand. Okay.
I
Oh,
kind
yeah.
of know him now.
Yeah. So he says, "You guys live in LA. I live in Madison and am poor. Got to take what I can get. LOL. I understand why you would be unsettled by seeing somebody you don't know backstage, but I don't know why you can't picture yourself in my shoes. Love the
Oh,
show.
in his
Still
Crocs.
support you guys."
Yeah.
Or in his Crocs. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he actually does keep going after this
Love
too.
the show support. I love that at the end of all that. They're like, hey, you're a psycho stalker. Leave us alone, please.
Yeah.
You scared everyone. We don't want anything to do with you. You're acting like a fucking idiot. And he's just like, hey, I don't know. Love the show.
Yeah.
I live in Madison, Wisconsin. What else am I supposed to do?
Yeah.
There's nothing else I could do. What can I say?
So he gets yelled at again, and then he says, "Not that it really matters, but I talked to you guys after the show. I definitely am not sorry for coming backstage and asking for an autograph. I am sorry that I surprised you guys, and I'm sad that people in this situation now are forced to assume the worst when they see a fan. I had no idea that this chat was so intimate and that Paul and Brett would be responding. Never been on here and was not trying to make a ruckus. Just was sad about my experience. I don't agree with you, but I understand your position. Still love the show and hope you guys have a great night."
So he joined the Discord to complain that Paul
complain.
F. Tompkins was rude to him.
Yeah, because he snuck backstage and then just kept like doubling, tripling, quadrupling down. Like,
boy.
so fucking crazy. To me, this is like the most insane post of the year, 2024, and it's like the Clubhouse like runaway leader right now.
Yeah, this is a really insane post
because they keep like to get called out specifically by the guys you're talking about in their own Discord. And then to keep going is so fucking nuts.
It doesn't happen very often where you're like, hey, this celebrity was mean to me. And then the celebrity's like, well, here's actually what happened.
Yeah.
And then you're just like, well, no, I'm not going to,
to say like, I disagree. Where they're like, well, we felt really like threatened and it was really weird and you can't do this. And he's like, actually, I think I can, I actually can do that.
Yeah, like to not have your tail between your legs at that point, when the guy himself comes in and is like, this is what you did. Like, how can you just not cower and never go back to that Discord ever again?
I'm just so intrigued by this guy now. And I want to know everything about him.
Yeah, sorry that you guys felt uncomfortable, but I'm actually a really nice guy.
Yeah.
So you guys can do this. You had no reason to be worried. It's fine.
And you guys can do this to us at the live show. You can come backstage. You can threaten us.
No, don't.
No?
Honestly, I'll be at the live show. Come and do your worst.
Okay.
Yeah, bring a gun.
Okay.
Come and do your worst, buddy. I would love
social media updates, Dan. Play this.
I would love to throw
Try and kill me. Try and fucking kill me.
Go ahead. Beat the shit out of every single person who comes to that show.
What did you see? Sports, politics, tweets, and skis. Hard to tell. Fast food freaks. It's our social media update.
Chris, we always like to start with the guests. What's going on your social media?
Well, I don't use it as much anymore. I think I don't use really. I'm kind of off of the X website for the most part. And I sometimes post on Instagram where I post photos of my baby, but then I face swap my face onto the baby's face.
I love those pictures so much.
Good bit.
Pretty jarring for a lot of people. They've told me. Family members and stuff, I guess, don't really get the joke.
But they're like, wait, is this what your baby looks like?
Well, they just want to see what the baby looks like, They're just like, we get it. We're not. Why do you keep doing it? They don't understand that concept of just continuing to do something. But the main thing I've been doing on just in the past couple of days, it was mostly with these British riots that have been happening.
Yes.
And I've been just going on Twitter on this alt account and just sending people replying to people's accounts saying that like, hey, I was in some Discord and they've got all your info and they're sharing it around and they got cell phone numbers. I don't know what you did, but like they're exposing you and just they're not smart enough to go look at my account and see that I'm like doing that to everyone.
Sure. Yeah.
So I was getting quite a few of them on the hook when I was like away on my vacation. I just had some downtime, just kind of sitting around away from home, with the baby sleeping or whatever. And I would just kind of convince them that they were like going like really bad guys, like who were posting really awful like racist stuff.
Yeah.
I would just convince them that like and then all these people on social media for their posts started getting arrested in the UK for them.
So they were like freaking out.
And then it was like really easy to do. I was like, they're getting everyone. Like I was like, don't even reply to this guy. You'll be in jail for sure if you even reply.
That's a really good. That is legitimately a really good use of your time.
It leads into my blocked tail later on as well.
Oh, wonderful. Okay.
So
yeah, excellent.
Nice. That's good.
Yeah.
I feel like I never really gotten into the like alt account shit posting, but it does seem like fun.
Yeah,
nice,
I've never really done it either. The other account I have is like a soccer account that I just follow, like Manchester United stuff or whatever. So I just went on there, and it's like it makes it seem like I'm British as well.
Oh yeah, because it's the soccer. Yeah, that's true.
Right.
I sold a hoodie on that account.
Okay. Wow. So you're okay. Yeah. Wow.
So they know. Yeah. Okay. So they know you're for real.
I actually do talk like a British guy.
You say like in it and stuff.
I say in it, but I like really know because I follow all these British Manchester United.
How they post basically,
how they post and talk and stuff, and the type of banter they have. Even saying,
even just saying banter. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, some cheeky bants.
Yeah.
Dan, are you putting weed on top of a can?
God,
here
Dan,
we
I'm
go.
just
Get into this.
fuck me. Oh my God.
Yeah,
this
you
is 3
still have
episodes.
weed left?
Dan, just go. You have my permission to just go buy some like rolling papers or whatever.
I don't need your permission.
Well, I think maybe you do.
Why are you smoking it out of the can like that?
Well, I found like an ounce of weed in my apartment that I had forgotten about. So
Is that the same can you've been smoking out of for like
Of
2
course it
weeks?
is. What am I going to keep making new cans?
It's really bad for you to smoke out of cans, right?
I've
You know
heard that. I remember
That's
that.
an old wives' tale. That's a myth.
Yeah, but in this case, the old wives are like very accomplished scientists.
Is it bad
so-
to smoke out of a can?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's the aluminum.
Yeah, it's the way the aluminum is treated before they make the cans. It's basically like you're just inhaling like other gases and shit you don't want into your body.
Is it going to get me higher?
Yeah, yeah. You say you don't want them. We're talking. I don't know. Dan might want them.
Some studies previously suggested that aluminum exposure could be linked to Alzheimer's disease, but other studies argue that this may not actually be true. So I think
Yeah, see, that's
they're
what's
good.
up.
Yeah, but the second studies was a bunch of people who had Alzheimer's, so they forgot about the results of the first study.
Yeah.
I don't think that's true. I think I'm fine. I'm going to be okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, I don't
actually
know if it's going to be
agree.
okay, but this
Yeah.
may not be the inciting incident.
Yeah, well, that's good enough for me.
What about out of an apple?
You think I have an apple in here?
No, that's a good point.
This is all
yeah.
out of convenience.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Why don't you go to the store? Or sorry, am I
That's,
speaking out of turn?
yeah, Chris, that's, I mean,
Don't say that. Don't
Is
say
he
that.
consider go to the store?
He'll get mad at you.
No,
Don't
It's
say
hang
that.
on. I
mostly-
just thought of something else. I just realized something. You don't have to go. They'll bring it to
They
your
will deliver stuff.
that's,
Yeah.
you got it, Chris. Yep. Now you're starting to pick it
They'll,
up.
they'll bring a weed pipe and everything for you.
Yeah.
Bong. They'll deliver all that stuff. I've had stuff like that delivered to me.
Well, I don't want to have that in my house because then I'm just going to be smoking weed all the time with it.
Yeah, he's
But
trying
Dan-
to quit smoking weed, so he got rid of all his paraphernalia. But now that he found an ounce of weed, he's
Okay,
smoking it out of
I
his
feel
can.
it. So you're right now. You're like trying to get
Trying to get rid of the weed.
get rid of this shit, but it's just a bit of a struggle right now. You're just sort of struggling a bit at this point with it.
Yeah.
How much weed do you have left?
Not very much. I would say like a gram, maybe.
Okay.
2 grams.
Okay. All right. So you know what? Okay. And then but then after that, throwing out the can or
Yeah,
recycling
after
it.
that,
Hopefully,
after that, I'm only smoking my dad's weed.
that's good. That's
Yeah.
what I like to hear.
Well,
All right. Excellent. Yeah.
So that's what you like to hear. Okay.
Yes.
I don't know. I'm coming into this kind of without all
that's
the
an
info.
improvement, Chris.
It
We'll
is,
we'll
it
say
is.
that. That's an
Yeah.
improvement.
Yeah.
So
So dad's weed's not very potent, or what's the?
no, it's just the frequency.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I can say what my social media thing is if we want to move on to.
No, I think
Yeah,
I'd
let's
like to
move
stay
on.
with. I'd like to stay in this moment for a little longer.
Okay.
All right,
And
Stefan, what's going on your social
Dan, have you
media?
ever thought? Dan, have you ever thought maybe like let's get to the root of this? Why we got to smoke this weed? You know what I mean?
Well, I know why. It's because I have nothing to do all fucking day.
No. Come on, Dan. Let's get to the root of this. Why do we want to escape this reality we call life? Come on.
Oh, because I want to fucking blow my head off.
Well,
Oh,
okay.
okay.
Okay. Well, you can cut that part out, I guess.
Well,
I
Dan,
won't.
then you got it. I hope you're talking to someone about that, Dad.
Yeah, I'm talking to you guys about it right
Oh,
now.
he is. That actually is true. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point. Well, I love you, Dan. I love you. No
We
matter
love
what.
you, Dan.
I
We
love you guys
As sweet
too.
as
Thank
you want, and I'll still love you. But if you're trying to quit, I can help with that as well. You know, yeah, the old fucking lockup technique. That's how you should do it in the old fucking back where I come from. You fucking lock your buddy up in the fucking room, and that's it. You ain't getting any. Period.
Yep.
End of story.
We could do that if you want, Dan.
You
Yeah.
guys want to lock me in a room?
Yep.
And then what?
I don't know.
Stay in
We'll
there?
So you have
See
to
what
stay in
happens.
there.
Yeah.
For how
Hey.
long?
I was only there for the beginning part of it. I don't know what happens at the end. I just locked in the room.
I don't know what happens once you get better.
No.
I have nothing after that. But,
Yeah.
and kind of that is sort of how American incarceration works.
That's true. Yeah.
Stefan, what's
I
going on?
saw this really. You guys maybe have seen this video too, but I think this has gone like pretty viral. Dan, can you play the video?
He's a
Yeah,
little.
1 second. That's all right.
Okay.
Oh, the Hawk Tua video.
Oh, do you know this one?
I've heard of it. Yeah.
What's one move and
It's really funny.
go crazy every time?
Oh, you gotta give him that hawk to it.
Yeah. Chris, have you not seen this? Yeah.
I don't get you. I think you gotta demonstrate.
Hawk tooth. Spit on it. Spit on it.
That's funny.
Yeah.
I could see that on a shirt.
Yeah. Because I think it might actually be on shirts and stuff too. Like it's so.
It's already got on shirts.
I think it's on shirts and stuff. Yeah. But isn't that so funny?
Oh yeah. Hawk
Yeah.
You know what I would like to see? I would like to see kind of a meeting of the minds between her and my sort of favorite guy, Bill Maher.
There's no way that Bill Maher would have the. I call her the Hawk Tua lady, but there's no way.
Oh, okay. I call her Haley because I think.
Oh,
that's
you
her name.
found her? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's Haley,
Yeah.
but kind of could imagine her, on Club Random chopping it up with Bill. Could be pretty funny.
Yeah, I think they would have a lot to talk about.
And he wouldn't
certainly.
even get horny.
Oh, I don't think he would get horny.
Certainly.
She's too young. She's too young. So
Too
he
young
wouldn't.
for Bill
Would
Maher.
make it uncomfortable.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
he wouldn't.
No,
No,
I
certainly
watch
not.
a lot of Club Random.
Yeah, it's really good.
I do. I watch a lot of it.
I believe you.
But not like, not like just I watch it on just as a goof or whatever on
Sure.
stream
Yeah.
with Brian,
Yeah.
But he really does get quite horny on it. Like he'll just get really high and drunk, like really kind of fucked up, like kind of out of it, and then he just starts getting kind of fucking horny, really, really a weird show.
Kind of makes you think that he might be kind of a bad guy.
I think he might be a bad guy. Yeah, I do know that when I was using AI a lot before, he had I just had the perfect Bill Maher. I tricked
Yes.
Dennis Prager, like the call screener and Dennis Prager, and got on the air as Bill Maher. That's how good the voice was.
But anyway, I
good.
saw that going around on X.
And what do you think,
everything
Stefan? Do you like is that how you like your blowjobs? If they just kind of spit on that thing?
Sure, yeah. I think why not?
Give it that Hawk Tua.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think that's nice.
I'm not going to participate in this riff because Stefan is in a relationship obviously with somebody that I know, and the person that he would be getting a Hawk Tua from, and I'm not going to disrespect.
I think
he could be giving the Hawk Tua.
Exactly, because I think in porno a lot of times you see the guys are doing the spitting, and it's like really insane that they're doing it.
Like on the penises?
No, but on the pussies as well. So I think because you see that in porno where the guy's like really like.
Spitting.
He's like,
sorry, the guys are like, what, Stefan?
He's spitting. I'm doing a spitting noise.
I don't really see it that much. I don't feel like
I search for spitting porno. So that's if you search for spitting, you'll see actually a lot of
that. A lot of the guys.
I don't think you will. If you search for spitting, I don't think you'll see.
I think that's a different thing.
But you just search spitting on the pussy.
Yeah.
Well, okay. That's what you search. You search for spitting on the pussy.
Now I kind of understand why you're seeing those videos. Yeah. Like, are they actually spitting though?
Yeah, they're going.
I am just like imagining you thinking that's what spitting is and doing it.
What the fuck?
Oh man, that's
John. What's going on your social media?
Well, I've got a little bit of an issue. I'm still on this now. Like the Hawk Tua, right? That insinuates that she's like hawking a loogie, which that I'm not interested in.
Yeah, that's not how you do it.
No.
Yeah, it does imply like there's going to be some like phlegm.
Yeah, it's not really like a
no.
The way she's saying. She's
No,
saying
I've had it happen to me before. It's not great.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Like snot.
Yeah, she was.
Stop it, man. What are you guys up to? What's your deal?
You say you guys,
John, you let it happen. You don't stop them from doing it. Like you sit back, like, oh, what are you guys doing here? And meanwhile, you let it happen each and every week. I mean,
they let it happen. What am I supposed to do, Chris?
Genuinely fucking revolting. When you start saying snot and you take it like that, ugh.
That would be so gross, honestly.
Chris is fully backed off of the mic. He's
this is all because Chris missed the fucking basketball shot, by the way.
Oh yeah.
That's actually a good point. I forgot about that.
Yeah, you have a chance. You could let's try and save the episode right now. Take another shot. Take another shot.
Okay, I got my green ball out now.
Okay,
And
different
if
color.
anyone wondering, I'm actually doing this. This is
Yeah.
not like
Oh
theater.
yeah. No, he's.
All right, here we
It
go.
is the ball is green.
Come on. Where did it go?
I'll even go.
It did.
Behind me.
Oh no.
Oh, good Lord. Somehow the shot was worse than the first. I was hoping we would get some redemption and maybe
Okay.
finish strong, but it seems like the end is going to be worse than what you've just listened to.
This is really bad, I think. This is okay. That's
I have
all
one
right.
more ball, by the way.
Okay.
Take the shot. Take the shot. I think you have to do it now. Take the shot.
Oh, you want it right now?
I think we need to do, are we saving it? Let's save it maybe for right before the block tail.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Okay, yeah.
Just to see if we can kind of.
Just to see if we can, because maybe we can save it ourselves with your social
Yeah,
media.
because I'll tell you
update.
right now, the social media update, I'm not saving it.
Mm.
Because good friend of the show, Joe Rogan, recently released a comedy special.
Oh, I love this.
Oh,
I love this.
Yeah.
Joe Rogan is honestly the mothership. Take me to the mothership, please. That's all I think.
the comedy mothership.
The comedy mothership.
He would
That's
be-
where it happens.
He's the ship, or he's running the ship.
He's
he
mother.
is the mother, and he is the pilot of the ship, and
Okay.
he's the guy collects your cell phones.
Take me to your leader, the comedy leader.
He is. Let me tell you, it is really fantastic that he. This is why he never put a special out before, by the way, because he knows how much he sucks. He knows that he sucks. Like he knows he's not good at stand up, and so he knows that he'll be exposed by how much he sucks if he puts out a special. That's why it's
Yeah.
been like so many years. Like since he's
Yeah.
been famous, he hasn't put one out.
I saw he did a "Did you assume my gender" joke, like straight up, just like that was the
Oh
joke.
yeah, I mean, he's
Male
done,
assist, yeah.
he's got a
Oh.
lot going on here, and this one I think is really good because it kind of gives you sort of a good mindset into where Joe's at in terms of his intelligence, because he starts talking about, well, he's got a little joke here about his friend Elon Musk. So I think it's a two kind of guys we love on the show, just chopping it up about each other. So
I'm friends with Elon Musk, which is the intellectual equivalent of a boy and his dog.
Oh, dude.
That guy's so much smarter than me. You know when you're around your dog's like, you're different, tell me what to do. That's me. I'm like, when they land, you'll tell them I'm cool? Like, I'm friends with Elon Musk.
that's the whole joke right there. So
The beginning part of it's so uncomfortable because he like says the like initial part that's meant to be funny, but they're still just kind of like clapping for Elon Musk, you know?
they're just clapping for his name. Yeah,
Just
they're
for
like,
his
oh yeah, we
name
know that
being
guy's
said.
name. It's Elon Musk.
And he also has a big sweat stains under his.
Oh my god, yeah.
Oh yeah,
The-
terrible
the
shirt
fit.
choice.
The fit is so crazy.
Yeah,
That's how he dresses. He dresses
That's so
insane.
crazy,
he dresses
man.
insane.
and he's small. A lot of people don't realize he's very short.
Oh, he's very small. He's small like a bowling ball. A lot of people have said that. He's very bowling ball-esque in the way that he's shaped. And he but it's really remarkable how unfunny he is. Like he's never been, no one has ever considered him to be a good stand-up comedian.
No.
Like nobody ever.
But now all these people are like pretending like he's good because
yeah.
they're fans of his podcast and he's like a free speech guy and stuff. And
I
like,
swear there's
oh
not
my
even
God.
there's not even that much of that. I swear to you. If you get down to it, even the Joe Rogan fans, they're like
they know
this sucks. Like this isn't funny. Like even by like our metrics, he's not saying any funny jokes at all.
Yeah.
It's fucking ridiculous.
No, it's got to be like, it just has to be a case of like Netflix gave him so much money, like enough money.
It was
where he's
wasn't it
like,
live also? Wasn't that the whole bit? Was that it was live?
Well,
Okay.
I'm sure it was. That's why he has those big sweat stains under his breasts.
They would have gave him so much money, and they would have just been like, and he would have just been like, you know what? That amount of money is worth me. It's worth me like backing out. Like,
right.
It's worth me putting up a really shitty special, like whatever.
It's worth like finally exposing what a horribly unfunny comedian I am. But because I mean, he just famously doesn't understand jokes as well. That's like a famous thing. There's like big compilations you can find on YouTube of Joe Rogan not understanding jokes, where people just make jokes on his podcast and he doesn't understand that someone's making a joke. Like just thousands of them. So he like doesn't even really seem to understand like the concept of humor in a lot of ways. So it's kind of cool that he's managed to get to where he is.
Well, I mean, that whole clip, I mean, it's only like 20 seconds long, but I do love, like, I fully reject the premise. Like the idea, like he's just starting out being like, the agreed upon premise is that Elon Musk is a genius. So like already I don't agree with that. And
Yeah, I
then
don't think
we're
he
on
doesn't
shaky
seem-
ground
He
already.
doesn't
And then-
seem like a genius, you know.
no. And also then to be like the ending joke is like to prove that Elon is like such a genius or whatever. He's like, well, I'm just trying to be friends with him for when the aliens come, and then Elon Musk will tell them that I'm
cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny. That's a funny fucking joke.
Yeah. Pretty funny. I
Yeah.
mean, like, what are you guys gonna do when the aliens come, you know?
I think kill myself probably.
Well, I have a kind of a funny thing I thought of because there's always the famous "Take me to your leader,"
Sure.
and
Yeah.
I was thinking to myself,
Oh, okay.
like,
Here
if
we
I
go,
wanted
here
to
we go.
puff on one, maybe I switch a couple letters around. I ask them, "Take me to your dealer."
Oh.
Because you have to assume they have some crazy space weed.
You
right?
have to assume that they're going to have some sense of humor and they're going to appreciate the
Sure.
double entendre.
Look at the reference too, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. I think
Don't
I think
the aliens say take me to your leader to the people though? So they would be saying take me to your dealer to you.
to the yeah.
No, I would throw it. Yeah, well, no, I would. They would say, yeah. So okay. So this is what
Yeah,
happened.
sorry. Yeah.
They land and they kind of come on. They see me. I'm in a fucking cornfield. You know, I'm out in a cornfield. That's where you're gonna see them.
Right, because that's where
Yeah.
they do the crop
That's where they
circles.
come.
I'm out there. Yeah, they're looking for places to do their crop circles. And so I come out. They see me and they say, "Take me to your leader." And I
Oh,
say,
and then you flip it around at
"Will,
them. Yeah.
on one condition."
Yeah.
And then I say, "You take me to your dealer." And then I pull out a big fucking spliff, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's kind of, I guess, a montage situation then, you know, jamming Bob Marley.
Yeah. They're smoking out of a can of
And they're
seltzer.
becoming like very, like they're
Sorry, Dan. Sorry.
I'm sort of imagining a moment where Chris, you say,
Sorry,
take
Dan.
me to your dealer.
Yeah.
And then you do a little sort of like a breaking of the fourth wall where you turn
Oh.
to the camera and you go, you know, that alien weed go crazy.
Oh, you
Yeah.
know that alien weed is going to be some top kush.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going crazy.
Oh, yeah. Give me some of that alien fucking kush, you know? Like,
Actually, on our planet, we like smoking mids. Mids to us are really that's what we like.
we
smoking.
actually prefer mids. It's like it allows us to like it slows down and it's actually helps us to like
It doesn't get you as high.
It helps you
know?
to aim better. It slows
Yeah.
down the game, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. And aliens are like, we're only smoking that loud.
Yeah.
Yeah, to them it's mids, but to us it's fucking honestly.
Sure.
like,
Yeah, because it's an alien. Yeah.
it's insane shit. And
Yeah.
then they're like,
It's sort of like how like
it's
weed in the 1950s and 60s compared to weed today.
yeah,
That's
they're smoking-
alien weed to us.
They're smoking 3000 AD type
Yeah,
weed, like
yeah.
so far in the future.
yeah.
Yeah. You know,
Yeah.
it'd be going
BC
crazy.
BC's in the past. You almost said BC
So
there.
many cannabinoids, you know, they're inventing new.
That's maybe the name of the damn species of alien.
They're called cannabinoids. Yeah,
Cannabin androids.
Okay.
cannabin
Yeah.
androids.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Time
Take
for the
that.
block
Can you
tail.
take that fucking basketball shot? I think it's time. I think you really have to make
Yeah,
it.
during the theme song.
Yeah.
Let's see. What
Here we
color
go.
ball do we have now?
Blue ball.
Blue ball.
Knows all about
Okay.
this.
Yeah.
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 Stefan started spitting on that pussy, and now his balls are blue as hell.
Here we go.
Come on. No.
Knocked over a water. I legitimately knocked over water. I spilt it all over my keyboard. And so for anyone who's listening, this is legitimately what happened when I just tried to take that shot. It's gonna, be indicative of how the show's gonna end. The shot came and hit me in the face.
Yeah.
It caused me to fall backwards, knock over my water, which spilled all over my keyboard and my mouse, completely destroying them. And now I actually have to buy a new keyboard and mouse, and I'm not even joking.
Yeah. And you can, and Chris right now is basically, he's like flickering off and on.
Yeah.
We can barely even see his video right now.
Yeah, it's really, honestly, it's like, yeah, whatever. It was a pretty funny visual bit that I'm doing exclusively for you guys on the call because
we do put the video of this on YouTube, so people are gonna.
What?
Yeah.
That's also in the email.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Are you kidding me? You put this up? I had no fucking idea of that. I'm serious. Why don't you tell people that?
It's in the email.
It's actually kind of like right beside the link in the email. Right at the top.
Yeah.
Absolutely ridiculous. I'm glad I don't look like. Sometimes I look
You look great.
ridiculous.
The basketball shots are pretty bad to see visually as
I
well.
didn't know that it was going to be the visual of that.
Yeah.
Fuck me. But you can see that I really did. Look, there's real wetness on there.
Yeah, it's glistening.
Yeah.
I know. I saw it. You could see it. Yeah.
So Chris, the floor is yours. What's happened in your world?
Hey,
in
make sure not
terms of blocks?
to spill water on the floor.
Yeah, the floor is mine. Yeah, grab me
the
a
floor
mop.
is wet.
Grab me a mop because it's friggin' soaked, and I'm not even joking. It's gotten on the floor as well. Okay, so I sent this message to this guy as I told you guys before. I'm saying these things to these bad guys on Twitter. I'm telling them that there's Discord stuff. So I sent this guy said something really horrible. I'm not going to repeat what they said because it's bad.
Yeah.
I said, Adam, they're talking a lot about you on Discord. People have been tracking down your info. Stay safe. Don't know if it's accurate, but have seen people sharing cell phone numbers and addresses for your family members. So he replies immediately, send me a DM. So of course I do. Of course I send him a DM. I say, brother, what did you do to make them so mad? And he says, can you send me a screenshot? I think they're just upset that I'm a proud and vocal Trump supporter. I don't think that's it.
So this is an English Trump supporter, or this is
this
now
is
an American?
different. I just got caught up in it from the English stuff, but this was like, I don't know how I forget how I came upon this guy. This guy's American. This guy's from America.
Okay.
My content has generated 250 million views, mostly interviewing people, so it was bound to upset someone. And I said, I think it's because you have poopy underwear and you smell of poop. And then he blocked me.
How old are we all here again? I just want to.
Well, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
sometimes
your
baby's screaming and you're out away from home and you just you know what I mean?
Poop is funny. I think poop is very funny, and I do like when you're talking to someone who takes themselves very seriously and you say something about poop to them and they get all mad about it.
Yeah, I do that quite a bit. I'll have very serious people on. I've been doing that a little bit on Twitch. I did a live stream where I had 4 political Republican candidate guests.
That's so risky, I feel like, because they could say
it was wild.
Yeah.
It was wild. All 4 I did a full hour, 15 minutes with each of them. And it was pretty scary. But I love that, getting really serious people and just putting them in this ridiculously juvenile scenario and seeing how they react to it.
God, who was it you called? And was it? Fuck, I'm trying to remember who it was. Was it that sheriff guy that you called? And you're like, I've put poopy in my diaper. I've got poo poo in my butt.
That was Wayne. That wasn't even me. That was somebody else. That was Wayne Dupree, the new ninja who. What happened was I found a way to break into his phone lines, so we could mute them and then unmute ourselves. So then we were just on the air. So in the middle of their guests talking, we would just mute Wayne Dupree, and then people would go on I'm a little baby. I did a poopy in my diaper. It was.
I remember crying with laughter when I saw that.
It was just because we just overwhelmed them, it was just so many, and they had no idea technically what was happening.
No, not at all.
Their standpoint, they're trying to figure out it became our show. It wasn't even their show anymore.
Really, really good.
I feel like Wayne Dupree was one of the guys I called to ask about curling. I feel like
that makes sense. He was he's actually the second person I ever called, because the first person was Kurt Schilling, and then I called shows saying hey, what do you think of Kurt Schilling? Just to find the next person to fuck with. And he was the first one who was I love Kurt Schilling, So I was all right, that's the guy. So yeah.
Great.
Wonderful. Wonderful. What a throwback.
A great throwback. This is a throwback, this listener block to last week's episode.
Okay.
Or no, I think it was 2 episodes ago. We were talking about Long John Silver's. That was with Raft. So 2 episodes ago, we were talking about Long John Silver's, and
we had a lot of people defending it in the Discord.
Yeah, saying it was good. And I guess this sort of feeds into that a little bit. This is from Sean, who got blocked from a Facebook group. Sean writes in, "Hi, Blocked crew. It was pretty serendipitous that you discussed Long John Silver's on a recent BP with Raft, because I had just been blocked from a town-wide Facebook group because of one. So this also ties into Sam Burns, who was blocked from a town-wide Facebook group as well. Sometime last year, it was announced that a Long John Silver's was being built in the town next to mine. And at least 1 to 3 times per week since then, someone would post in the town's Facebook discussion group asking if construction was finished and when they were opening. When the time finally came for the grand opening, people lost their minds and were lined up for several miles from early in the morning until closing time, causing huge traffic backups. Wait times were over an hour for at least the first 4 to 5 days of operation. And for the next 2 weeks, the town Facebook group was inundated with people either raving about how good it was or asking how long the line was that day. Since the group was now essentially a giant Yelp review for chicken planks, I decided it would be funny. I guess is that what they call them? Do they call them chicken planks?
I guess, I don't know. I mean, because to me, they're a seafood place, but they have been leaning into their chicken recently, so.
Yeah, apparently that is what they call their chicken tenders. They call them chicken planks.
Okay.
That's terrible.
Really appealing.
Yeah. So anyway, I decided it would be funny to post in the group on a Sunday morning that the Long John Silver's needed your prayers because a raccoon fell into the fryer overnight and the restaurant exploded. They did not find that funny, and I got a slew of angry replies, including one calling me a Marxist vegan terrorist.
Oh my
I had
God.
thrown the raccoon in there myself.
A vegan wouldn't do that, by the way.
No, before I was summarily banned from the group. So
really nice,
you, Sean.
Work. That's really good.
Really good work. If you want to send in a listener block, you can do so by sending us an email at blocked@blockparty.com. You can also donate to the show at patreon.com/blockparty, where $5 gets you access to 3 bonus episodes every single month. Last week, we had our good friend DBJ, Dead Blossom Jesse, on the show to finally clear out our mailbag, the third part of Blocked Bag 50. We also have a great cameo episode coming up, so stay tuned for that. And we got a bunch of stuff on there. We've got ad-free episodes. We've got merch discounts. We've got live show discounts. So if you're planning on coming to the live show, you can sign up for the $100 club and you get a discount on your live show ticket. All of that information is there on Patreon. You can also follow us Twitter, Instagram, TikTok at Blocked Party Pod. You can also see the video of this episode on YouTube at Blocked Party. And of course, if you like the show, tell a friend. And of course, please come to the live show. Tickets available now, bit.ly/top3weekend. All right, Chris, we're here at the end of the show. That means that it is time for the top 3.
3, 2, 1.
What's this?
Uno, 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 uno.
Mustard.
3.
Socks. 2. Girlfriends.
Uno, 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 uno.
All right, Chris, what do you have for us?
Well, I just had to obviously rack my brain there, hoping for a bit of a longer theme song. I was hoping for an extended cut on the theme song.
Right.
I just feel like maybe this one's been done because of the time of the year, but I do like it as one, and that is the top 3 Olympic sports.
I actually don't think we've done that.
I don't think we've done that either.
Summer and winter, both?
We have definitely done top 3 Olympic medals.
Yeah, that was.
Did that with
was that Graham Clark?
Graham Clark. Yeah, I'll just
well, guess
quickly.
what? I'm not doing bits. I'm trying to, you know what I mean? I'm not in here goofing around. I'm trying. We're in the middle of the Olympics. I don't feel like they're getting a lot of play in the media, and I would like more people focused on the Olympics.
Should it be ones that maybe, because like obviously, you know, I love soccer or footy as you call it, you know, hockey.
Depends on what account I'm on.
Is it right? Is it more ones that maybe you only really see at the Olympics, or I think
it's any. I think you can pick any sport that is at the Olympics.
And are we doing just summer because it's Summer Olympics right now, or winter included?
I think maybe now we should focus on the summer. I think the Winter Olympics in Canada is like that gets all the play, you know?
Yeah.
Sure. Okay. Yeah. So top 3 sports in the Summer Olympics. All right, Chris, we'll start with you with your number 3.
Well, I'm going to say number 3 for me is going to be the old hammer toss.
Canada's very good at that.
Canada won the gold medal in the hammer toss, and it's this guy, this big guy, looks like Dan, looks like producer Dan.
Yeah,
and he's from Nanaimo. He's from just like, you know, just down the street. I was in Nanaimo. That's where I was over on the weekend. So I don't know, kind of cool, and kind of a cool sport as well. You're just fucking throwing this big giant hammer.
Yeah.
You know, it's really.
And he just started. He started like a year ago.
That's why
he's so
cool.
Olympic gold medalist. medalist.
That's why I like it, because it just feels like it's like you don't have to like train that much for it. You just fucking got to be really strong in like a really old school kind of way, you know? And that's why
we won for the women's too. So Canada confirmed top. So we're the throw nation.
We're the number one hammer tossers. That's
right.
That's fucking cool, man.
That's pretty fucking cool, dude.
Yeah.
Stefan, your number 3, please.
I'm gonna say, you know what? I looked really cool to me, and I think it might be new this Olympics is sport climbing, where there's like
yes, it is
racing to climb up the wall. I mean,
they get up there.
They go so fast. They get up there in like 5 seconds. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah, new sports are great too.
Yeah.
You know, where they're just like, let's fucking mix it up a
Try
little
it.
bit.
They're doing
like,
flag football in the LA Olympics.
3-on-3 basketball
Yeah.
is new to it as well. I think they feels like they are trying to like make it fun or whatever.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Yeah, I didn't watch the wall climbing.
Wall climbing is crazy.
But
it's
it's
so impressive.
I do like American Gladiators and stuff. So
yeah, it feels kind of like that. And like John
I'm willing
said,
to bet that Nitro and Turbo wouldn't catch these guys.
Nope.
These guys might
fast.
claim the prize.
I think they might climb the wall a little bit faster.
That's probably why they can't even do fucking American Gladiators.
Well, and it's because of woke, of course.
Obviously, they can't make it because of woke, and also they did make a remake.
Yeah.
And people said, we're not interested.
No,
we're not interested.
John, number 3.
This is, you know what? I'm just going to go with old reliable swimming.
Yeah.
Just just love seeing all the freaks in the pool. They're going.
I hate swimming.
Well, that's great for you, Chris.
I hate it. I think it's such a boring sport to watch. You know, there doesn't have that excitement for me, you know?
I feel like it does. I feel like a lot of the races are so close, and obviously Summer McIntosh won 4 medals. It was very exciting to watch her compete this year for Canada. And I do think it's very exciting. And it seemed like the French crowd was mega into it. So it made it made the events really good because they had a star, Léon Marchand, and then they also just seemed like they just wanted to see the people fucking swim. And it was really great.
The swimming, one cool thing is you can win so many medals because there's so many events, you know? So like those are where you get the guys who have like 7 gold medals or whatever, you know?
I was looking this up the other day because I was thinking about swimming and I did not realize the number was so. Do you guys know how many medals Michael Phelps has?
It's like 20 something.
No, like 100.
Yeah, it's 28.
Yeah.
I heard it was 165. Wait, 100 or 28. Okay.
Yeah.
28 fucking medals. So crazy.
And
Chris, you're number 2.
My number 2 is, of course, gun shooting.
Yeah.
And we all saw the great gun shooting from the Turkish guy who had his hand in his pocket. And I am a big fan of the sports where you don't have to be athletic at all in any way. You can be so old. I love sports like that. And obviously that guy was super cool. You know, that's cool to see somebody. As you can tell, I like old school sports, you know? I mean, it's the same as I am with wrestling. I respect the old territory days. I'm not into the new bullshit that they're, you know?
Yeah.
Yep.
I also, did you guys read about the Turkish guy that he got into shooting because he got divorced?
I think that was fake.
You think it was?
I think that was fake. I'm pretty sure that was fake.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
Damn,
but
that sounded really cool.
He's a cat guy. I know he's a cat guy.
He is a cat guy. I think that was fake, unfortunately. But I think there's a chance he may have been like a former hitman of some kind.
Well, I think he was
actually not a joke.
I think he was a special forces guy. Like, I think he was like a special forces police person.
Yeah. So, maybe don't look too far into his past necessarily.
Don't look into him. Just look at how cool he looked on the screen and just think of him as that image versus as like a real human being who's probably, I guess killed a lot of innocent people. Maybe.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah. Number 2 for me, you know what? Another one that's like really insane to watch. And like, it's a sport that's very fun to play. And I consider it to be like a nice, fun summer sport, maybe in the park or whatever. And then you watch the pros play it and you're like, this is fucking insane. Is badminton. It's like, man, so fun to watch.
Similar to table tennis. It's kind of you're like, I've played this before and I wasn't playing it. I wasn't even playing it.
Did you see that one table tennis shot the guy did where it was like under the table and then he got the backspin on it so it came back? Like,
yeah, it was amazing.
So table tennis was like it was between badminton and table tennis for me at number 2. But it's just so incredible to watch. Like, because it's a sport you don't see. You only really see it at the Olympics.
Yeah,
and it's just like absolutely psychotic how fast they're moving and how hard they're hitting it, or how soft they're hitting it, and how long the rallies will go for too. Like it just, yeah, it's unreal. Badminton, number 2.
Number 2 for me. I think we can all agree we love like a dumb sport. Like I love watching a sport and I'm like, why does this exist? And that for me is pole vault. How did we come up with this idea of, hey, let's take the long stick and then shove it into the ground and use it to jump over this bar? It looks insane. The Swedish pole vaulter set a new world record, and his name is Mondo Duplantis.
Yeah, he was sweet. I watched that. I watched him. He jumped so high, and I was thinking about it. He jumps because with the pole vault, that's the highest anyone's jumped.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, so he's jumped higher than anyone ever in the history of the world. And they were measuring it out. He could jump over a 2-story house.
It's insane. Like it's such a crazy sport. I don't know how anyone even gets into it. How do you even decide I'm going to be a pole vault guy?
Well, first of all, you have to have a small penis. That
was also a great moment of the Olympics where the French guy showed that he had, or Italian, I think it was French, had just like a massive fucking hog, and it cost him.
So, Stefan, did you just you couldn't grip the pole well enough? Like, why did you? What happened? With
grip this pole, Chris, because it's so damn small.
I've got the build for it because there's nothing going on down there. You know what I mean?
That's you came to the coach.
Just showing my small penis to the coach. Put me in, coach.
Hey, coach, I think I'd be perfect for a pole vault. All right, let's see it.
It's either that or high jump, but I go frontwards because it's really easy for me to get over from. No worries about friction there at all. Okay, Chris, you're number 1.
Well, I think that probably the number 1 best sport at the Olympics was basketball, but it just didn't go down for the boys yesterday. And that was the only one that was the one that, and the reason it's a top sport is it's because it's the one I was watching and the one that I was interested in, because Canada, they're right on the precipice of being one of the big teams and looked so good in the group stage. And then fucking Jamal Murray just didn't show up in that quarterfinal. Dylan Brooks scoreless through the first 3 quarters. It was just a nightmare for all of my hoops fans out there. Really frustrating game to watch. And obviously 25 free throws for France in the first half, and there's only 8 for Canada, and whatever. What are you gonna? But yeah, I think we can all agree as sports fans that was really tough to watch the boys lose.
Very tough. Refereeing was a sham, but
both ways.
It's not why we lost.
It's not why, because they also
played very bad. And Rudy Gobert didn't even play.
Neither did Wemby barely played, and like Batum barely played and shit. It was these other guys I never heard of who play in Europe who just dominated Canada.
And Evan Fournier somehow had the game of his life.
Oh, just disgusting.
He was 20% from 3 in the NBA this year, and then hit like 6 threes against Canada, including one from half court.
So we're not watching it anymore, basketball. And guess what? Just got a word in my ear. It's actually gone and from the first position now due to the ouster, and we are going to put all of our money into running.
All right.
The number 1 sport in the Olympics is absolutely running fast.
Yeah. Yeah, can't argue with that. It's just it's simple.
That was a crazy final as well. The final was where they was like a 0.5, like it was the closest thing I've ever seen.
That was nuts. That was insane. Yeah. Number 1 for me, the classic sport I only watch when it's on during the Olympics, handball.
Oh yeah. I used to play it when I was a kid.
Oh, it's the classic like PE class game.
Yes,
right?
exactly.
It doesn't seem like a real game, and then you see it at the Olympics and you're like, oh my God, this fucking rules. It just looks like so much fun.
It's like if you like dodgeball, like, if there was like professional Olympic level dodgeball or whatever, which nowadays with the world and everything is good chance it might be.
Yeah. But it's an easy sport to be impressed by too, I think, as well, because it's like you see someone make like just a crazy shot. They'll put like spin on the ball and everything. And it just looks like so much fun to play. And it's nice to see that every 4 years. So I got to go with handball, my number 1.
Yeah, and then I'll just add a little joke on there is that you probably picked that because you always got your damn hands on your balls.
Yep. Okay. If the other handball was an Olympic sport, buddy, you'd be A gold medalist.
And honestly, it was I would, as long as it only required balls.
Yeah, because
As long as
my
my
penis is so small.
Because your penis is barely exists.
So the penis not being there would actually really help.
Well,
Just might not
exactly.
be-
we don't know
yeah.
the rules of it yet.
Sure.
It might help. It might
It's not an
hinder.
official sport.
We're
yet,
still
yeah.
working on the rules
Yeah.
of this version
But I
of
guess I
handball.
am thinking that a small penis will help.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
My number one, also a new-ish Olympic edition, came in the last Olympics. I'm going to go with skateboarding.
Oh yeah.
Just great to watch in the Olympics. I love it too because I love traditional street, just street part skateboarding where it's not a competition, but in the competition where basically you can't fall, like if you fall, you lose basically. Really adds a lot of stakes to the runs they're doing. The biggest trick being part of it is also sick. And it's been a big fan of the Olympic skateboarding.
Yeah, skateboarding is, listen, skateboarding is cool. And the skateboarders are like the coolest people at the Olympics.
Easily. They're cleaning up in the village.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
All right. Well, thanks so much, Chris, for returning to the show. So great to have you back. Before we go, anything you would like to plug?
Well, yeah, listen to the Guys podcast on iTunes. I would prefer if you listen to it I would prefer if you listen to it on iTunes and not one of these other Spotify or anything like that, please. We're not really into that. So if you have Spotify, please don't listen. If you're going to try to listen to it somewhere else, don't bother. And I have Not Even a Show, which check out twitch.tv/Not Even a Show. I'm doing Huck Watch there. I'm doing a lot of live streams, like I mentioned, where I'm putting them up on water again. Fuck hell. I'm not even joking. Okay, go. I'm done.
All right. Check out Chris on Twitch and on YouTube. Not Even a Show. Extremely funny. And you can check out Chris at the Blocked Party Top 3 Weekend 2, October 11th and 12th at the Biltmore Cabaret. Tickets available bit.ly/top3. That's the digit 3 weekend. And for us, you can check us out patreon.com/Block Party. We're pretty much everywhere at Blocked Party Pod. Episode available on YouTube at Block Party. And we'll see you back here next week. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.